All right, so today we are joined by a lovely guest from Equilibria Finance. Uh, from my understanding, Equilibria is built on top of the Pendle ecosystem, which is honestly really developing into quite the behemoth in their own universe. There are a variety of different platforms that are now building on top of Pendle. So, what is Pendle? Pendle is a platform that allows users to split tokens into their yield bearing and sort of non yield bearing portions. This creates interesting dynamics where you can trade interest rates, where you can hedge exposure, or you can even leverage long on the APR of a token if you, for some reason, know that the APR is going to go up in the near future. We actually saw a lot of interest on Pendle for rETH when the validator queue for our node operators to go live was very long. This introduced a lot of stale ETH into the ecosystem. And so there was this expectation that the rETH APR was currently depressed and soon to rise. Uh, and Pendle was one of the main places people were able to actually take advantage of that knowledge. So Equilibria Finance aims to build on top of Pendle, and from my understanding, is kind of like an Aura Finance layer, but more built on top. So could you tell us a little bit about Equilibrium Finance and your goals?
Sure. Well, first of all, good morning or good evening, everybody, wherever in the world you are guys located. It's morning here for me, and as opposed to you guys, I'm in Brazil, so it's like springtime now. So it's actually pretty nice
Ah,
weather
yes.
here. So
Yeah.
don't try to make you. I know it's getting colder wherever you guys are in the world, but actually here it's pretty nice day. So yeah, thanks for the introduction. It's an honor for us to be here and join this AMA with the Rocket team. As you were saying correctly, so Equilibria is a yield booster, and we are built on top of Pendle Finance, and we currently have around 27% of all locked Pendle. So, I think that's the way that people can relate is very similar to the way the Convex worked with Curve. So our protocol enables Pendle holders to get or to earn some passive income and provides Pendle Finance voters with cost-effective voting, allows liquidity providers to gain increased APR, and we can do that without them having to lock Pendle tokens as VE Pendle because we have already so much Pendle locked. We wrap Pendle to ePendle, and then we bring the benefits to Pendle lockers and liquidity providers. So the users who provide Pendle on Equilibria will receive the ePendle in return. And then they can choose to trade this ePendle on the DEX to exit that position. They can provide the ePendle liquidity on the DEX to earn more incentives, or they can stake them to earn like a share of Equilibria's performance fees. I think that's when it becomes like more sexy, right? To have an idea, the performance fees shares are 12.5% of Equilibria's revenue. Those
Wow.
rewards are paid out in Pendle and with, and additionally, ePendle stakers receive the EQB rewards, which is our own proprietary token. Uh, since the users provide Pendle and receive ePendle, like where does the initial Pendle go? And the answer is that Equilibria locks them into Pendle to accrue the maximal V Pendle. And because of that, we can provide the booster reward powers to the liquidity providers. So the idea is, all in all, to be a community-driven, easy-to-use platform designed to help the users to maximize their profits, strong focus on security, and of course, the best user experience possible to try to attract as many new users as possible to this somehow complex blockchain Web3 world that's new to a lot of people. So try to simplify the whole process to try to onboard as many people as possible and then raise the TVL, which have reached like $56 million right in TVL on our project. So that's a little bit of
Wow.
who
Wow.
we are. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Pendle system has their native Pendle token, and that is usually paid out as incentives, right? And is kind of like convex, where uh, in order to get the curve, where in order to get the maximum amount of boost, you have to have a lot of Pendle already locked up. So it sounds like Equilibria Finance improves the UX on the system by having that maximum boost from their large internal Pendle holdings. And so when people come and stake their LPs tokens with you guys, they automatically get that max boost plus additional bonus tokens in Equilibria. EQB, is that right?
That's correct. Yes, that's you're spot on. That's exactly what you just said as is. So perfect. Couldn't have said better.
Sweet. So, yeah, that's a really nifty system because there a lot of the APR is locked behind the Pendle barrier. Sorry, there's a background noise. Okay, it's mostly past now. Sorry about that. Uh, yeah, so the Pendle system locks their maximum APR behind the large mint. I'm curious. This system usually has uh, the liquid token, the wrapper token, which you said was ePendle. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
How is the peg between ePendle and Pendle, and do you have plans on defending that peg in the future? Because I know that's something that's uh, VEBAL and all these tokens have had to deal with at some point or another.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I hope that I can address it. Just like one step before that, just to mention that the idea behind that, as you just said, is like to make good user experience and provide easiness to use. As there's a lot of details on each blockchain, so what we are trying to do is provide our users the easiest path or simplest path, safe as well, for people to get more rewards than they usually would on just a regular system. So to answer your question specifically, so we just launched the ePendle pool on Pendle yesterday, and the idea is to bring the peg to a better level. So this is sort of like work in progress, and this I hope that continuously that people will get more news about this, and I think that raises a lot of interest. So I think that the team is heavily working on this to try to address the specific issue. So to go into a little bit more details of what you were just saying, so the Pendle employs the V token model, as you were saying, for its governance token, which is Pendle. So by converting their Pendle into V Pendle, the holders can gain governance rights that will bring a share of revenue and higher APR as liquidity providers in the protocol. And to fully leverage those benefits of the V Pendle, users are encouraged to lock their Pendle for maximum of 2 years. Going back to the ePendle that you just mentioned, what we're doing is that we allow the ePendle holders to trade the ePendle yield within the Pendle market. Additionally, liquidity providers now have the option to offer ePendle liquidity on Pendle. So this presents an exciting opportunity for efficient farm yields and is expected to boost demand and conversions for ePendle. Contributing to its overall stability and providing added benefits for Equilibria users, including the higher APYs for liquidity providers. So, like I said, the idea is to provide like a very easy platform with better results that they can get like all these boosted rewards and all these extra rewards that you would get just on a regular platform. That's the idea behind it.
Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about that UX. Let's say I am a user and I'm coming to you with some rETH. What is my experience like, and how can I use Equilibria?
Well, the idea is that it's the same process all around. So the idea is to further unlock the potential of your assets, right? So as long as you provide liquidity on Equilibria, you automatically earn boosted rewards without the requirement of actually having to lock any pendle. So Equilibria will also provide our own platform token, as we were saying, the EQB and XEQB as an additional incentive. So if you wish to deposit the same pool from Pendle here on Equilibria, you don't have to hold the vPendle. You can still enjoy the booster rewards. And we also provide our platform tokens, as we were saying, EQB and XEQB as additional rewards. So if you are our ETH user and looking for a place to further, enhance your rewards, we believe that we are providing that place for you. That you can still have the rETH and then get more rewards on whatever investment that you have or whatever amount that you can lock in. We have also other features that we can talk about later on the call, like the bribe feature, which will present also other rewards or other incentives. So that's the idea. I don't know if that was easy to
Yeah, yeah.
understand. I know that sometimes it can get a little bit, but I think that
Right. No, that makes
yeah.
sense.
But so like except being a liquidity provider and ePendle holder on Equilibria, there are more yield opportunities for users. So I think that just to finalize, the hottest opportunity is to vote for the bribe pools within the VLEQB, which is the locked version of our governance token. So every week we have protocols with liquidity pools in both Pendle and Equilibria, and they're all eager to purchase votes from VLEQB holders in order to increase the Pendle emission on their pool. And when they do that, they can boost the APY of the liquidity pool and attract more and more LPs. So the VLEQB holders can earn very promising income to the bribery mechanisms. And just to have an idea, the bribe APR can sometimes reach up to 100% depending on the specific pool. I think that just this week, we were just talking before the call, we have like $8,000 worth of extra rewards on bribe mechanism on its own. So to earn bribery
Wow.
income, you just need to purchase the EQB and lock it as VLEQB and then vote on snapshot. So that's a little bit of details, more details about it.
Yeah, let's dive into that. So these bribe markets, so these EQB holders can lock their EQB into vote locked EQB, and then once they do that, they can direct these emissions to different LPs. Or you're saying they can accept bribes to send the emissions to a specific pool. Uh, do you know who these bribes are currently coming from? Are they like protocols like Lido or Frax, or is it sort of coming from the community for now?
It's coming from the protocols, so we try to
Mhm.
negotiate. This is something that we discuss with as many protocols as possible, and we're trying to get more and more protocols. At some point, we also want, of course, as we were saying in the beginning, that this is a community-driven project, so we want the community to have a say. So, but for now, it's coming from protocols like Rocket, right? So
Mhm.
I think that that's for now that's the main idea. But eventually, like in an ideal world, the community will have a say, and then by voting, they will be able to say where does the rest of the benefits or the rewards will come from. So
A big topic in these bribe ecosystems is bribe efficiency. So when Aura first launched, their efficiency was something like 3x and has gradually drifted down to, I believe, only 1.4x currently. Uh, Being a relatively new bribe market, I'm curious, do you know what the efficiency multiplier is right now for bribes on EQB in the ultimate Pendle pool?
no, I do not have this information on top of my head. Let me see if somebody on the team can help me out, and then I'll provide this information just on top of my head. I do not know what the efficiency rate is right now. So I think that will provide this answer later on. But you can also ask this community this type of questions. But okay, just got to
Yeah.
answer. So the ROI right now is around 11. So yeah,
Wow.
still pretty.
Wow.
But again, like you just said, there's just at the beginning usually is higher, and then as time goes by, it usually
Mhm.
sort of settles to a lower, more stable value. But for now, it's 11. But it's around 11.
That is the greatest opportunity for
Yeah.
protocols to take advantage of when it
Absolutely,
is early.
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
like, and this is something that we've always tried. Is like, we want to benefit the early adopters, and whoever jumps in at the early stages should get a bigger reward. So that's what we're trying to make it sexy.
Let's talk a little bit about the fee mechanism, just so our listeners understand how that works. You mentioned that EQB holders could generate 15% protocol fees. So where are those protocol fees coming from, coming in place?
So those protocols, so like as mentioned earlier, we are like built on top of Pendle, and like to
Mhm.
enhance the rewards for liquidity providers such as rETH users. So according to the Pendle mechanism, as an LP, you need to hold the Pendle, the locked version, to receive the boosted APY. Otherwise, you can only enjoy the basic APY. But in Equilibria, we choose to deposit. If you Sorry, can you hear me? I think I got cut off a little bit.
Yeah,
So
we
if you
can hear you
choose to
now.
deposit on
Yeah.
Equilibria, you can enjoy the booster rewards without holding the vPendle. And additionally, we also provide our platform tokens, as we were saying. So for our ETH holders, the rewards that you could enjoy comes from just underlying yield from Rocket, the PT yield from Pendle, the swap fees from Pendle, the boosted incentives from Pendle, and the EQB and XEQB from Equilibria. So there's a variety of ways that they can get those boosted rewards by using our protocol.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like a number of different
Possibilities,
revenue
yeah.
streams
Yeah.
for the LP. I'm curious where the fees come. Like, what is the current fee structure? Like, how does the EQB protocol generate revenue, and how does it direct fees to EQB holders?
Okay, let me see if I do not know what the fee structure is here. Not into that detail. So again, I'm sorry if I don't have that answer right now as far as the fee structure is concerned. But
That's fine.
I
Yeah.
urge everybody to join, Discord and social media and our Telegram groups or even our Twitters, and the community there will be able to provide this answer in detail, like the breakdown of all the fee structure. And
Mhm.
if I get this information a little bit before the call's over, of course, I will provide here. But
Got it.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure from like
So
just on top of my mind. I do not know like how to break down the fee structure. Sorry.
yeah. Uh, do you guys have a docs page set up, right? Thought I recall seeing
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Does
we
it?
do. We do have
Yeah.
like so we have so we were like I was saying, we're on all mediums. There's a lot of information on Medium. You can also
Hmm.
check out our group on Discord, and we like 24/7. We are able to provide all these details and breakdown, and like our tech team, which I'm not, can provide like more technical details and broken down of the fee structure and algorithm and how everything's calculated and so on. So I urge you guys to just, if can, just join our Discord and join our social media groups. So then all this information will be available.
Got it. Great stuff. Another question. There is a growing ecosystem built around Pendle. Another platform that comes to mind is PenPy. Uh, I, I'm honestly not too privy on how they work, but I'm curious. How does Equilibria differentiate itself from other platforms built on top of Pendle?
Well, to be very honest with you, I think that we differentiate ourselves just by trying to provide the best user experience possible and try to be with as many protocols as possible to provide to our users a variety of a huge portfolio of options. So if you go into our protocol, our platform, you see our DApp, you see a lot of options. So I think that it's not like a Coke and Pepsi type thing, but I think it's something that for the user to feel comfortable and feel that that's a safe platform to be using it. The team is a strong, experienced team with like really OGs that have been with the DeFi world since its inception, participating in all the protocols before as well. So it's a strong team that provides like those best solutions possible for our users. So it's customized, optimized for Pendle. We want, like I was saying, like convenient platform for Pendle. If you compare our tokenomics with PenPy, as you just mentioned, you find that our tokenomics are fully focused on the Pendle and the Equilibria community, rather than allocating tokens to third parties without contributing to the Pendle ecosystem. So I think that that's probably one of the things that differentiates us more from just average other protocol, which is the focus. And then the user experience, the safety, and the variety of options. I think that that's why we can be sort of set apart. We hope to be set apart, and that's why we see tremendous growth. Like if you look what we have achieved so far in the 6 months that we're up and running, and what we have planned, for the coming months and coming year, it's pretty exciting.
That's very cool. I'm actually interested in a little bit more about the team. What else have they worked on? And then could you actually just give us like a brief timeline of how you guys got to where you are now? Earlier you mentioned a pretty impressive TVL number.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I'm just curious, like the story of the team and how you got here.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the team it's pretty global. So we have team like in Asia, in America, in Europe. So we're all over. And the founders got together as they worked in previous projects before. Some of them had like traditional finance experience, like myself. Some of them have fintech experience, so always coding and trying to understand how the finance or traditional finance could be sort of migrated to the DeFi market. It all started about, let me see, 3 to 4 years ago when we got together and we started designing, ideas of how we could make. I think that we always came from, let's provide the best user experience to attract new users. This is with the time before the whole bear market hit. So we said, maybe what we can do is that believing that people are usually not lazy, but there's so much detail and so much difference across every other protocol that there's out there. We felt that if we could do the work for our users and to do something that's very easy to use, very easy to access, provide safety so people feel that they can make investments there and not see any, part of the protocol be exploited or something, and every time that there is an issue, it hurts us all. So, the team got together a few years back with experience and worked together in fintechs mostly. And then we work on previous projects as well, trying to do youth booster on other platforms, on other blockchains as well. And by coming together with this team now, we feel that we have a very strong project that we learned a lot from previous experiences. So, like I said, a pretty experienced team, a lot of good networks, a lot of good investors as well that we got together and we got to meet during these times that we've been working together. And I think that that's it's a pretty good sexy story. Like you're saying, like I was saying before, we launched in May. We made some pretty impressive progress in my view. A lot of people in the team have tremendous experience, and I think that as a result, we were able to reach like Incuba Alpha or Alpha Capital, other investors who helped raise our TVL to pretty large numbers. And we can even talk about like milestones that we have achieved since we launched in May, as well as what we have ahead. But I think there's strong backing, like with strong support, with a strong team as well. That got together a few years back, and some of the team have been working together for more than 10 years in other projects. So everybody knows each other, like the core team knows each other really well and know what anything that can add and where networks can be used. Some folks on dev, myself focusing on trying to do some business development, trying to contact investors or possible investors. So it's a good story, it's a good story. But all in all, my view is that the experience that we have absorbed so far has helped us to provide a very safe environment for our users.
That's an awesome story. Yeah, it's incredible to hear about a team that's working together for over 10 years through various projects. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
On the topic of safety, I'm curious, do you guys have any audits? And if so, where can our listeners go read about those audits?
Sure. I think that everybody talks about safety and everybody talks about security, and it's like a cliche, but yeah. So we do have undergone multiple audits, and then we use SpecShield and Watchbug. We have those two audit reports. You can check them on our platform on equilibria.fi. Uh, SpecShield, I think, is a well-known in the DeFi market. Watchbug is the audit partner of Pendle as well. So for us, it's used because they're highly familiar with Pendle-related code. So their assistance, it's been tremendously helpful for us. So we have those reports already available on our platform. I think that we also have adopted other security measures that are worth mentioning. So we have a proxy-based approach to implement contracts to prevent any expected issues. Uh, we have upgraded permissions of the contract that are under control of the time lock. And we do that by 3 to 5 multi-sig that's held by Equilibria core contributors, as well as I was saying, like Incuba, members of Incuba Alpha, GBV Capital, and Pendle Finance. We also have working with Immunify for a bug bounty program that will pay out anybody who can find anything that's verified that can find any issues with our platform. So we have that, which we believe also increases the security level. So I think that we are tremendously focused on security, especially given everything that has happened, in the recent past. I think that in order to attract new people, I think that what separates like more and more newcomers to crypto world is how if they feel safe, and what they read out there is always somehow that makes them feel a little bit scared. But like by the audit reports, the bug bounty program, the proxy based approach, the multi sig core contributors, I think that makes a variety of features that will hopefully make people feel safe.
Yeah, it's really impressive to hear about the 3 to 5 multi-sig with a time lock built in for contract upgrades. That's a level of detail not a lot of protocols will go through. and definitely does provide some extra guarantees against, like malicious upgrades and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it can never be too safe. I think that nowadays
Yeah.
we have seen that enough right in the market that the more that we can work on that and focus on that and let the word out there, it's good.
I'm curious, how does governance work for the Pendle ecosystem? So you mentioned that contract upgrades happen by this proxy, but where does the the Equilibrium token holder get involved, or is that still a work in progress?
Yeah, this is a work in progress still, and hopefully we will be able to provide that detailed answer in the coming weeks. But for now, that's a work in progress. Now we're currently working on that.
Got it. That's a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to. Is there anything you want to give us a little bit of alpha on the future of Equilibria and any other closing thoughts you have?
Yeah, I think so. If you guys don't mind, I know I talk a lot, and I apologize for that.
No, no,
uh,
it's been wonderful.
So, I mean, just very briefly, just to say, like I was saying, like the achievements that we had so far, I think they're pretty cool. So, I think we gathered 7.6 million V pendle. That's about 26% share among the total locked pendle. We have successfully completed our IDO, and we reached about $1.5 million in selling out one day earlier than scheduled. Like I was saying, like our TVL has skyrocketed to like 50 some $1 million. But what's coming ahead? So for the last quarter of this year, we will working on developing the vote delegation feature to improve the user experience. We will integrate with the cross-chain operating protocol to optimize user experience as well, and we'll enable ePendle on multi-chains to lower the user cost. Uh, Provide and incentivize liquidity for ePendle, Pendle on Arbitrum, launch LSD Yield Strategy Vault, and list EQB on more DEXs. So that's coming this year. For the beginning of next year, develop the YTPT limit order feature, launch the VL EQB yield market, complete auditing for newly developed features, and list EQB on centralized exchange to improve liquidity. And finally, we started the LSDFi series campaign in partnership with Project Galaxy. So we believe that this campaign will strengthen our connection with LSDFi communities and encourage broader participation. And you can all check these details of the series of this campaign on Galaxy or on our own app. Next week, we will launch Pendlepalooza campaign to accumulate more Pendle and enhance the LP rewards. So really recommend everybody checking that out. I like that name, Pendlepalooza. And we're in close collaborations with the CFI wallet, and we'll be launching a campaign that will bring more yields for LPs and, of course, onboard more users in this month. So a lot of things happening. The team is hard at work.
Wow, that's a credible lineup. Well, planned into next year, and Pendlepalooza sounds like a very good time. Uh,
Indeed.
yeah, so I encourage all of our listeners to go check out Equilibria Finance. And they are built on top of Pendle to maximize your potential or for earnings. Uh, can you give us some quick locations where we can learn more about Equilibria?
Sure. So, I recommend everybody to go into our Twitter, which is Equilibria. Our website is equilibria.fi. And from that, you can launch our dApp, connect your many wallets, MetaMask or whatever wallet that you're holding. So, as I said, we have a Discord group, we have a Telegram group as well. So, Twitter, Discord, Telegram, check out the documents on media, engage with the community. Look, I was saying, like, the team's always eager to talk, learn, exchange information, and that's the way that we grow. All in all, community-driven project. We need the users to come in and provide feedback and provide input as much as possible. So check out those social media, please.
Thanks. Yeah, make sure you go give them a good look. Thank you again for joining us. And we're going to now transition over to the second portion of our call, where me and Mav just go over some rocket pool centric topics. You're more than welcome to stay around and join in if you find this interesting. Mav, you there?
Hello, I am.
Great. So I hear we've got some other pretty interesting calls this week. Can you tell me about them?
Yeah, so we had one a couple of days ago that was with OpenUX. You can check out the recording for that. We will get it onto YouTube, but for now, on Twitter X itself. And then tomorrow we have Nethermind, who are going to join a call. I guess that's in about 24 hours or so. And they are going to chat about tokenomics, which could be interesting. So, OpenUX, first of all, if you're not aware, there is some research being undertaken right now that's funded by the GMC. That is to learn a little bit more about specifically the node operator experience within Rocket Pool. One of the things that is a little bit tricky when it comes to a permissionless protocol is it's possible for participants to have quite a high level of anonymity. There's no requirement to sign up or provide information or even, join the Discord or be at one of these calls. So it's a little bit tricky to know exactly who is participating, what their experiences are, what they like and dislike. And to be honest, even if there was a high level of information, I think when it comes to this sort of thing, the 80-20 rule tends to apply, right? So you'll have a kind of vocal minority, the 20%, providing 80% of the feedback, and then some other people who, regardless of their views or preferences one way or another, their voices just aren't necessarily heard as loudly. So one of the outcomes from this research, hopefully, is to get a more balanced overview of the participants within Rocket Pool. So if you're interested in participating, which would be very valuable and help to ensure that the research is a success, there is a survey which is pretty quick, about 5 minutes, maybe less. You can find that linked in the protocol announcements section of Discord. Just scroll back a couple of messages. It was also referred to in the previous bi-weekly update on Medium. If you complete that survey, there is an opportunity, if you're eligible, which I believe most node operators, if not all, would be, to then participate in a more in-depth paid interview, which I think lasts about an hour or so. And there's more information in the survey as you go through. So that is something that is available to participate in. Hopefully we get a lot more people joining, although from what I've heard, the OpenUX team have already had a pretty good response. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this initiative, again, the call a couple of days ago with the team went into a little bit more detail. Recording is available on the Rocket Pool X account. And then, tomorrow with Nethermind, tune in for that. They wrote up a little piece on the DAO governance forum. You can probably find that by searching Nethermind on the forum, but a much easier way to get to the post is just to go to the events section in Discord, find the AMA for tomorrow, and in the description there's a link to the forum. Probably just I don't expect the call to go very long, just an opportunity for them to chat through and explain some of their thoughts and considerations. Obviously, if you've participated in the Discord, you'll probably be aware, or the governance forum, that there's been quite a lot of discussion around RPL recently and the future of the tokenomics. Another thing when it comes to these spaces, we did have software available to download them and get them onto YouTube. That's been proving a little tricky lately, so there's a little bit of delay getting them up onto YouTube. Hopefully that should be sorted soon, but at least there is the option to play them back on Twitter, even if the UX there is not quite as good. So yeah, a bit of a busy week for calls this week. And then for next week, the time for the community call is still TBC. It is a bi-weekly week, so we'll have the bi-weekly update out, and all going well, we will get Langers on a call, but that is around when people are about to start jumping on flights to head to Istanbul. So for me, Tuesday night, and then I believe probably around about, oh no, I think it's a Wednesday for my Australian colleagues. So yeah, keep an eye out for the time for that call, but we'll try and make something work. It might be at a bit of an odd time, but we will have that call, and then obviously the following week there will be a live report from Istanbul. I'm guessing that one will probably be with Ken. We might have to shuffle a little bit with you, Jasper. Obviously,
Mhm.
Ken will be on site in Istanbul, so we can kind of do something like we did from Denver earlier in the year. But yeah, that's the core situation for now.
I'll also throw out that I was hosted on Tapioca DAO's
Oh yeah,
space yesterday, so if you want to, you can go give it a listen. We talked about the classic Node Operators Association and Megapools duo.
sorry, was it that was hosted on YouTube? Was it? I recall kind of clicking through to it, but I haven't watched it yet. I guess there's a recording there.
Yeah, it was streamed on YouTube, but you can also find it on Tapioca DAO's Twitter page. There's a link there.
All right, good stuff.
So I hear you actually attended a pretty interesting meetup recently.
Yes. So last night in New York, there was an Eigenlayer meetup. I think it was a kind of a Div Connect pre-game, is the way they explained it, at least. So yeah, made the opportunity of, or took advantage of the opportunity for me being up in this part of the world. I think that's one of the downsides of most of the guys being based in Australia. It tends to be a little bit quiet down that way. A lot of these events obviously taking place in the US or Europe. But yeah, to be honest, it was just a pretty casual thing. What was interesting for me though, I had to kind of duck out a bit about halfway through because at that point Australia was waking up. It was time to start the workday. But I'd say by that point there were at least a few dozen people. I don't know why they accepted my application to join. Kind of snuck in, but yeah, I talked to a couple of Rocket Pool node operators and liquid stakers, which is always pretty interesting to kind of meet people in the wild. Not being at necessarily a Rocket Pool or staking themed event. I guess Eigenlayer,
Right.
restaking is probably the next closest thing. But yeah, there was some talk about the people who are participating in the protocol and not necessarily engaging with, say, the community or the DAO or the Discord. One guy there had, I think he said, 16 ETH mini pool and 2 eights, and yeah, he was like, just happily staking away, contributing to Ethereum's security, which was great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to me in the wild like that.
Yeah, for sure. People working in not necessarily even in for crypto companies or projects or protocols. Certainly, like I guess crypto aligned, like Web 2 infrastructure. But still, it was great. And then I'm guessing there'll be a lot more of that in Istanbul with the various staking and staking related events going on. So, we'll be looking forward to meeting a whole lot more people starting next week.
Very cool. When does Istanbul start again?
So,
officially?
I think officially, I seem to recall people kind of making their way over already. But at least for Rocket Pool, the first part will be the Staking Rewards Summit. So that is on the 10th, I guess just over a week from now. Yeah, Friday the 10th. 2 days staking awards, staking summit, and then once that is kind of over, DevConnect itself kicks off. We're going to be at the eStaker gathering, and then the Nethermind side event, and actually heading back a little bit early. There are some more events going into kind of the 16th and the 17th of November, but by that we'll be on flights back. So yeah, certainly a lot going on, and I don't expect. I expect there's a lot of interesting events that unfortunately won't be able to get to, but that's just kind of the nature of DevConnect and how it works.
Right.
Instead of one like kind of main conference, there's a whole lot of different meetups. I believe Langers is also participating in this kind of an Eigenlayer side event as well. And then, of course, most importantly, there will be a community meetup. We've got a location sorted. So later today, I'll get out some information for everyone in Assemble to let them know kind of where and when. And we can have a few beers and catch up with everyone.
Yeah, sounds like a wonderful time. I hope anyone who is attending DevConnect make sure to stop by and catch up with the team. I think our last topic for today is the recent rETH price action that we've been seeing. So Prisma Finance has been sort of building and doing their BD thing in the background for quite some time now, and they just officially launched, I believe, their interchain stable, rebasing interchain stable, which included rETH as one of the collateral types. And so rETH went from essentially a 0% premium all the way to 0.6% above peg. Currently, we are node operator limited, so it is unlikely for this premium to be arbitraged away by node operators. However, if you are a pre-existing rETH holder, that 0.6% is roughly a quarter of a year, if not more, worth of rewards you can essentially access immediately by selling to ETH and then rebuying rETH at a later date when the premium cools down. This is not financial advice, of course, but I would encourage you to look at the premium history of the token and make your decisions with that information in mind.
Yeah, I recall seeing some information on Prisma go out. I guess it was yesterday, maybe the day before. Didn't expect that it would have this kind of this much demand, this kind of impact. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how far the effects go. I'm just going to pull up the price now to see where we're at. I think I saw earlier that there were too many requests for the LSC price query in Discord, and it was throwing back errors. But it's looking like it was around 0.687% premium. So it's been higher in the past, sure, but that's not insignificant.
Right, yeah, definitely not insignificant, but we're not touching the all-time highs, which I think were around 3% or something crazy. I don't think we'll ever get back there. Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not, but you never know. Certainly stranger things have, and I'm sure will happen in the future, knowing this space.
Absolutely. rETH is a permissionless token, and just like how Tetranode and the RP community sort of got together and released a 200 mil liquidity pool out of nowhere, there's nothing stopping that type of thing from happening again. But hopefully it is not done in the same way and is done in a much more controlled manner. But anything is possible, that's just to say.
Yeah. What else do we have? I guess other than that, it's starting to kind of hit the pre-trip craziness period where everyone's just doing a bit of a running around with their hair on fire, making sure everything's sorted. We've talked a little bit about the Rocket Pool website. I just see overnight Sleedy has sent through a final few images, so early next week Nick is going to get them loaded up, and he will be not joining the Istanbul trip, so we'll be online back down in Australia, putting the final touches to that, and then all going well, it won't be too much longer until we can get out a bit of a sneak peek, and then the final launch of the redesigned website.
Sweet. It's finally coming time for it. That's awesome.
Yeah, if ever there was like a soon TM, but I guess the best things sometimes take a little bit of time to get right. I'm certainly a fan of the new design, and as we've talked about a couple of times, it will also kick off a bit of a I don't like necessarily to use the word marketing, but a bit of a shift in the way we do external comms. Let's put it that way. Building on the refreshed look and feel of the website. So that's something I'm personally interested in and trying to get my ducks in a row for, because it'll start to happen while I'm at Istanbul. So there's certainly some preparation needed. I think it's going to be a pretty busy time over there. I guess Singapore and even ETH Denver weren't, kind of staking specific events. So it will be interesting to see how busy the Staking Rewards Summit and ETH Stake and Meetup are, for me, and just in terms of potentially more to do and more people to chat to than your usual event.
I
busy
fully
times ahead.
expect that. Yeah, I've personally already gotten several DMs asking me if I'm going to be at Dev Connect, so I can't even imagine what the team situation is going to be like.
As far as I've seen, there haven't been too many people pulling out because of what's going on over in. I guess it's that part of the world. Istanbul is a little bit further away, but still, some people do seem to be a bit concerned. But yeah, it seems that most of, at least the people that I've talked to and the events I'm aware of are still going ahead. So yeah, should be a good one.
I'm curious, is the roadmap article going to be part of this sort of marketing set of things that are set to occur?
It sure is.
Sweet.
And I'm working on a little bit to contribute to that. Probably do some today, finish it off next week, just around some of the growth metrics that we've seen over the last little while. So I think that's the kind of final piece. I do know that Dave has been busy working away on it. So yes, it will be an integral piece. Again, something that has been under the kind of soon TM category for a little while, but it would be great to get that out as well.
Incredible. That is definitely going to provide some clarity to people in the community who come in wondering what the plan is for Rocket Pool. So definitely looking forward to that.
All right, well, that's everything that I have.
Great. So on today's call, we were joined by the lovely folks from Equilibria Finance. They are a platform built on top of Pendle, designed to help you access the most rewards you can utilizing the Pendle ecosystem. You can deposit your rETH into Equilibria, and they will take it and stake it within the Pendle ecosystem, while earning you the maximum Pendle bonus, as well as Equilibria tokens on top of that. This system also enables Equilibria holders to stake their EQB tokens into VLEQB to earn bribe income. For some protocols that are wanting to expand into the Pendle ecosystem, the bribe multipliers are quite high at the moment, so that is an interesting opportunity. You can read more about them on their Twitter, Discord, or Telegram. After that discussion, we started talking about some rocket pool centric things. There have been a number of calls recently. OpenUX was on a Twitter space earlier this week talking about their program to survey node operators, and Nethermind will be featuring tomorrow to discuss the RPL tokenomics. Mav gave us a breakdown of his attendance at an Eigenlayer event, as well as the team's preparations for Istanbul. We talked also a little about the rETH premium and the fact that it is currently sitting at a nice 0.6-ish percent. A pretty nice opportunity if you're into that. Thank you all for joining. This has been a wonderful community call, and I hope to catch you on the next one.
Thank you, Jasper. Thanks, everyone. See you next
Thank you.
time.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.